Hi, everybody. Okay, I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Okay, this is a video I've been thinking about doing, only I was thinking about what the title should be because there's a series on Amazon Prime called Earnhardt. And I was thinking about titling it that, but I was afraid some people wouldn't know what I'm talking about. So I added his first name and my description. So hopefully you guys know who I'm talking about. All right. Now, I have a little bit of history with Dale Earnhardt and the family, only as a slight fan. And I say slight because I have watched exactly two or three total NASCAR races, and one of them happened to be the last race Dale Earnhardt was in. The second one was the one that Danica Patrick was in because at the time she was one of the few women race car drivers. Okay, so Dale Earnhardt, well, he had a very short career in terms of lifespan, but then when you think about what they do, that kind of makes sense, okay? Because you're putting yourself in a car and going at least 190 miles an hour, maybe 200 miles an hour, around turns constantly. So yeah. Okay. And the ironic thing was his wife tried to convince him to retire, and he said, just a little more, and then he passed away. Now, subsequently, they have redesigned the cars and the track so that people don't have accidents like this, and at least if they do have accidents, they're not as severe. So that is a great change from what happened to him. Okay, now I'm going to get into a little bit of the details surrounding what happened after because everybody can read the story about what his life was like and all this stuff, okay? But a lot of people don't know about the after, so that's what I'm going to focus on. He he dropped out of school in 8th grade. His father didn't want him to do that. He wanted him to get at least a high school education, but he made up his mind and decided to quit school. Um, Subsequently, when he was on a race, after the race, he heard some people around the track saying, well, we can say whatever we want because he wouldn't understand it anyway, which spurred him on to ensure that his kids had at least a high school diploma, possibly a degree. Um, so he had, well, I think he has 5 children, but he had 3 children or 2 children in quick succession because he got married really young. And his focus was trying to build his career. And he had the 2 children. He had Kelly, a daughter, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. I'll get to him in a little bit also. And then in his first marriage, that was in his second marriage. His first marriage, he only had one, well, not just one, but he had a son, Carrie. But what happened with him is that his ex-wife remarried, and her new husband adopted him as his own. So that's what happened. Um, and then and then as the story goes, I was watching a movie. There was actually a movie made about his story, which I just happened to click on one day. And if it's true to life, he met his third wife at the like a cafe right on the racetrack, and they met, and it was instantly like they knew each other the whole thing. Okay, because her family was involved in racing also, and so she became his business partner and his biggest cheerleader, all that stuff. And I say business partner because they created Dale Earnhardt Industries, DEI, and she was supposed to be the head of it. Only it's, well, she said that they worked together and one couldn't exist without the other. So I guess when he passed on, she kind of lost her way, and the family started fighting, and they wanted Dale Earnhardt to, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. to take over some of the stuff that his dad was doing. But that was not what he wanted for his career. So then he kind of split off and made his own company, and his sister came to work for him. Okay, now, part of the aftermath, like I said, is the splintering of the family because of they wanted the son to do something he didn't want to do and all that stuff. And of course, there was a money dispute and all that stuff. So that's the aftermath. And then also, Dale Earnhardt Jr. continued to race until 2017. And then he retired, and I think he's a sportscaster for, like, not NASCAR especially, but like race car things and, you know. But he also has his own company where he has his own merchandise and the whole thing. So, yeah. Oh, and the thing about his daughter, Kelly, was she got a degree in business. So that's how she was able to help her brother with the business things because she had a degree in business. So, and then he also had, I think it was another daughter really later in life, Taylor Nicole. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a little snapshot of Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Only this is going to be my only video because this is all I know on this subject. So, enjoy.